YouTube in just a minute and then we will be live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Couple more minutes. Here we go. In just a minute and then we're live on YouTube. Hey, everybody. All right,
Okay.
let's do it.
Fabulous. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host this evening, as I usually am on Monday nights. This is the Team Winn Zoom, and where we do updates and give you an opportunity to ask questions. But I get to introduce Miss Ellen. And first off, if anybody is new joining us for the first time, welcome. We're excited to see you and look forward to getting to know you. But anyways, just a little bit about Ellen if you're not familiar with her. She is a native of Dallas, Georgia, not Texas, and grew up on her family's farm where she lives on part of that property today. And she has a very long background working in the restaurant industry, and she actually owned her own restaurants or a couple of different pizza restaurants herself that she created, and was involved with Domino's Pizza on a statewide level, doing managing stores and also doing training. So she's got a strong background in business ownership, training, things like that. She's been in the network marketing industry for many years as well. She currently owns her own limousine company and an insurance agency, as well as a DAC business that is phenomenal. She's got people all over the country on her team. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Harlequin. Hey, I'm glad you're feeling up to talking tonight. Those of you that were on here last week, she just wasn't up to it and still not back to herself, but glad to see your smiling face on camera tonight. That's good. Welcome, everybody. If this is your first time, like Harlequin said, welcome. We're glad you're here. We do this Zoom every Monday. I don't have a lot of training content every week. But what we do is allow you the opportunity to ask questions live. You know, DAC does Zooms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday now. We're no longer doing the Thursday payment processing Zoom, but we're doing those during the week, during the day. And a lot of folks cannot be on there because they're working a job, part-time or full-time. And we do this nighttime opportunity to give you a question and answer opportunity. So normally I do a slideshow of our top recruiters. To be on that list, you had to have 2 or more recruits for the week. I went through and pulled the numbers earlier, and we did not have anyone that had more than 1 recruit apiece last week. So I didn't want to break that rule. Many of us had one new agent. I know Harlequin did. I did as well, and many of you did. So congratulations to everybody who recruited someone. But to be on the leaderboard and be named, you have to have had 2 or more new recruits to be on the leaderboard. But we're moving forward. We're in a new month here. It's exciting time. We're over halfway through the year, and DAC is about to launch the learning management system. I'm getting questions from a lot of you guys on when is it coming? When is it coming? When are we going to have to take the test? Well, David announced today, and he mentioned it on Friday as well, or last Wednesday, that he was looking for folks that wanted to participate in the beta test with it. I volunteered. I know Harlequin did, and some of the other leaders that have been around for a long time will probably be in that first round of beta testers. We're hoping to go live with that on the beta test platform by the end of this week. Looking forward to hearing that, getting that email saying I've got access to the portal. We'll give you updates as soon as it comes along. So just hold your horses, hold your questions on it. I don't know any more than what I just said as far as what it's going to be, other than David has said that the learning management system certification is going to be a requirement if you want to earn full commissions for referring and sending clients over to DAC. If you don't go through and get certified, and if you don't have people on your team that go get certified, those folks that are not certified are not going to get paid full commissions. They'll get a lesser commission and be considered a referral agent rather than a funding broker. So again, more on that will be coming as David launches that and as we go through the testing and the beta program here. But I'm excited about that. It's something that I've been hoping for the whole 7 years I've been with DAC, and it's finally coming to fruition. As Harlequin said, I've got a strong training background, and that training piece is like, bring it, bring it. So I've been excited to see that coming. But guys, that's really what I wanted to talk about tonight was that program that's coming. The change up in the Thursday schedule, no longer doing that during the day. The Tuesday and Thursday evening business opportunity meetings are still going strong, still going live. So it's your opportunity to recruit people, invite them to a live presentation. But now I just want to open up and see if anybody's got any questions about anything that's going on in your business, how to do something, where to find something, tell a story, a success story that you had, anything that you want to share. We're going to take just a few minutes and do that. If we don't have any participation, we'll wrap up. I do this, I was out real quick, get some water.
Yeah, I would like to know when you have your business cards, do you put your website on there, or did you get a domain?
I'll do a domain name, Anna.
Yeah, because you can't expect to put numbers down there or
Well,
usernames
some
that
people
bypass
do.
that.
I teach, and if you're in my email series, I sent out an email early on your first week in the business saying the value of using a domain name and talking about forwarding that. I have many domains, and depending on what my card is or what I'm doing with that, I always use a domain name. Like I have DACfundingoptions.com goes to my funding page, right? So yeah, use a domain name. And also, if you're using a domain name, a couple of wonderful things about that, it's easy to remember, it's shorter, and also you have full control over where that points to. So for example, my DACfundingoptions.com, if I decided that I wanted to send it to the core product page versus the flex product page that it forwards to right now, all I got to do is go into the host manager with Namecheap and redirect where it goes to. So you got a lot of flexibility if you use a
Do
domain
you
name.
use GoDaddy?
I do not. I use Namecheap.
What do you use?
Namecheap.
Namecheap, okay. Because I
Namecheap.
know GoDaddy, after you had it a year, they try to raise the price really high.
They do. Yeah, they're
Yeah, it's
outrageous.
horrible.
And I've got an affiliate link on Namecheap. If you need any help with that, you can go
Yeah, I
to
would like that.
domains.ellenwynn.link, and that's my affiliate page. I make a buck or so if you buy a domain through there, but most importantly, I am willing to work with people and show them how to redirect and all of that.
Can you
So
send that link or post it in the
can you
chat?
post that in the chat there, Harlequin? Domains.ellenwynn.link.
And also, I wanted to know, because GoDaddy, they changed it a long time ago. If you do HTTPS, if there's a S at it, you can't mask it. Okay, so is our domains, they have S on them, don't they?
Yeah,
Our
you
links.
can do everything with Namecheap that you can do with GoDaddy and then some. It's going to be cheaper for you the first year. It's going to be cheaper on renewals. They give you domain privacy for free, meaning that if you opt in for that and somebody goes to your domain name, they can't go in and see who owns that website. That's the
Right.
privacy
But
aspect of it.
do
It
you
does
mask
allow
yours?
masking. It does allow masking, but I'm glad you mentioned masking, because if you have a domain name and you're forwarding it to or pointing it to a DAC website, you do not need to mask it. If you mask it, it'll prevent the DAC website from working properly. For those of you that
Oh,
what you're talking about, masking simply means for an unmasked website. Let's say that my website was ellenwin.com. Okay.
Right.
If I sent you to ellenwin.com, if it is unmasked and that forwarded over to DAC, when you typed in ellenwin.com, the URL in the address bar would change to davidallencapital.com or whatever page I have. If I masked it, then if you typed in ellenwin.com, even though it may forward to davidallencapital.com, it would still say ellenwin.com in the address bar. So I'm basically masking the address that it forwards to, and it will not allow your DAC affiliate or broker links to work
Okay.
properly. Mask them. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Anything else, Anna?
Also, yeah, I wanted to know about advertising.
Okay, have you been through the
I've
Agent
been going
Resource
through
Center
everything, but
marketing?
I
I'm
don't know if
sorry,
I
I can't
missed
hear
that
you. We're
video.
both talking. I can't hear you. What'd you
I
say?
I said I don't know if I found that video yet to find out where I can advertise or if I can where I can put my ads.
Yeah, so in the Agent Resource Center, first off, going through the basic getting started training, David talks about methods to attract and recruit clients. Advertising is at the very bottom of the list where you're doing paid advertising and spending money. It's the least effective means of finding clients. It does work, but you're going to spend money to be able to find clients or agents. I do paid advertising and I've usually got something running in the background, but I've gotten far more clients for my free methods of reaching out through conversations with people, through my Chamber of Commerce, through networking events, through just introducing DAC through my warm market, which is what we teach is most effective. The other thing that we teach is doing the drop cards in your local market or, excuse me, going out and, taking pictures of vehicles as they're going down the road. You see a truck advertising with a phone number, call them up and say, hey, this is Anna. I just saw your truck at such and such intersection. I wanted to introduce myself. You don't know me directly, but I'm in the funding business. If you ever find yourself in need for working capital to grow or expand, I'd love to be your go-to person. I'm local and we've got the best network of funding companies to help you. That type of thing. Of course, that's a short version of the script and what you would say, but everything that you're asking is covered in that marketing training in the getting started. There's also a funding page in the Agent Resource Center. And
Is there
Harlan,
scripts
can
there?
you look to see where those marketing materials are?
I'm wondering where the script is. I was looking for it
Yep, it's in the funding section there.
in the resource center.
Mm-hmm. I see Harlan
Okay.
looking on site
I'm gonna
right
have to
now.
go look. I'm gonna have to look at
You're
it
digging
better.
through it. Okay. Anything
I know
else?
I heard him say that he put a card on, and he was at Home Depot and he put a card on somebody's windshield and the next day they got funding.
Yep, and that works. But let me give you a trick on that one. Have you ever been, any of you, as you're listening to this, have you ever gone to get in your car in a parking lot at a shopping center and you get in behind the steering wheel and you sit down to put the key in the ignition or push the start button and you look up and there's a piece of paper on your windshield? Isn't that
Right.
aggravating if you've got to get out of your car now and go get that piece
Yeah.
of paper off of the windshield? So instead of irritating the person to begin with, since we use drop cards, even with a flyer, in most cases you can roll it up, but I always just tuck it in right there at the driver's door so they see it as they're getting into the vehicle.
Right, because they could
You
think
know,
that somebody's trying
yep, you
to
can tuck it in, slide it
rob
in
them or
between
something.
you can slide it in between the glass and the rubber there, or maybe under the door handle, or
Wow, that's a good
pull out
idea,
door
yeah.
handle, tuck it in behind. But that's more user friendly to the person that you're leaving
I
the.
have to buy some cards and some postcards.
Yeah, okay, good deal. Well, all that
You have a
information is in
sample
there.
of your, can you give us a sample of your cards, what they look like?
I don't have them available right now. They're on my computer, and I've got one here in front of me that's $100 bill that I had printed
Ah,
up. Harlequin's got one. I did $100 bill a long time
I
ago.
like that, yeah.
QR code on it, And this works great at networking events because I'm the money lady, so I'm giving out $100 bills. And everybody remembers me because of that, but that's not a standard DAC card. Harlequin, hold yours back up. She's got the
Yeah.
rock cards.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is what's listed as a Connect card
Mm-hmm.
in the back office or in the resource center. And I have never had a DAC business, true business card, business card size. I've always used those because it stands out a whole lot more and people remember it and they tend to save them.
Which ones? Oh, the dollar ones, that with the
No,
$100
the
one?
big one.
Oh,
The big one
yes.
Oh, the
is
postcards. Yeah, those are nice, the postcards.
Yeah.
you won't
And
find the $100 bill card that I have. You won't find that anywhere in DAC. I found that through an independent
I've
website.
had those $100 things for advertising before,
Yeah.
and I don't remember where it's at now.
You can Google it. There's several companies out there that have them.
Yeah.
But I don't have, and I'll tell you, very important, I do not have DAC or a logo or anything on here. It is just a generic card with my name. It says your local business funding expert, working capital, lines of credit, and merchant credit card processing. It has my name, my phone number, and my dacfundingoptions.com website. If I used a logo and used the DAC branded name on this, I would have
You
had
can.
gotten approval through corporate to be able to create my own card. So important
Right.
that you go through and use what's already there or be generic about it. But if you want to use a logo, you got to get it approved.
And how do you do it on Facebook? I mean, I did look at it. It said something about just you put your link in. You could put your link.
Yeah, there's a whole training on that in the Agent Resource Center. It's under which page
I don't
there?
know why I'm missing this stuff.
Sounds
I'm
like
I do Grubhub. I've done loans before, and I just
okay,
got my
good.
friend
Yeah, I've read your
150,000.
emails. There's a lot of information in the Agent Resource Center. It just takes a little bit of time to go through it page by page, but there's a social
Okay.
media guide in there. Harlequin, can you tell us where that is? I think it's under the More tab.
which one?
Social media marketing. We went through this a few
Yeah,
weeks.
I'm
Right.
looking for it right now.
Thank you.
So I want to know the rules.
Yeah, well, the rules are listed if you go to the broker resource center under policies and procedures, there
Okay.
it has all of the rules as to what you can or can't do. And then under I just want to make sure that I'm doing,
And can you email? Because there was supposed to be a new law that came out last January. You couldn't email anybody.
No, that's not true.
That's what Joel told me, that they had a new rule coming out and you couldn't email them.
No, you can email. We don't encourage you to do blasting of blanket emails, but we do encourage you to send individual emails. Just like I gave the example of seeing a truck at an intersection, or you're behind a box truck and it tells the company name and has a phone number on it. Rather than calling, sometimes you can look that company up and it'll have an email address, or sometimes it'll be on the vehicle itself. You can email them using that same similar script of, hey, you don't know me directly, but I saw your truck at such and such intersection. I just want to introduce myself. And in the subject line, you need to make it a unique line for them to open. Like I would say, saw your truck in Dallas, saw your truck in Hiram,
Right. So I think
wherever.
it's
Right. So
business to them.
they'll see it, they'll know it's someone local, and the owner will most likely open it. Did you find that, Harlequin? I've got it. I can screen share that.
yeah, I can't find it.
I've got it here. I'm screen sharing. So I'm in the
Okay.
Agent Resource Center. And if you go to the More tab, to the logos in full drive, there is a DAC agent social sharing guide. It basically just shows you how to do the sharing in the different social media platforms.
So you click on more, right?
Click on More in the Agent Resource Center. Yep, our Broker Resource Center. I call it the ARC. So, Another thing on the social pages and the media that is there, DAC is sending out at least one email a week with their weekly overview and updates. If you'll get that email, it's from support@davidallencapital.com, and go all the way to the bottom of the email, you'll see the logos for all the different social media pages that DAC has. So when you click on those logos, you can go to those Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those different social media pages, and see the posts that DAC has made. You can either right click and save the images and create your own post from scratch with those images, or you can share. If you have, say, a Facebook page, you can share that post from the DAC page onto your page, or
On your
create
timeline?
they're creating a lot of content there on those social media links. Again, they're at the bottom of the DAC agent newsletter that goes out weekly.
The timeline is better to put it in groups, right? Than your timeline, because sometimes they don't read your timeline.
I wouldn't, what do you mean in groups? Explain that comment.
Like they have different groups. They have business groups and all that. And if you go into one of them and maybe you can say something about that you have funding available or
Yeah, it
something.
depends. A lot of times you'll get shut down in groups if you're spam, it'll be considered spamming.
Right.
Harlequin, you want to talk on that for a minute? I need to
Yeah,
drink some water.
a lot of the groups do not allow you to promote other businesses within those groups. The other thing is, on Facebook, anything that is posted in the DAC broker Facebook group, you cannot share because it's a private group, so it won't allow you to share from a private group to a public group or even another private group. But
So how do you do that? You right click, save the
yeah,
image.
yeah, you save the image and copy and paste.
Yep.
But yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any questions or comments before we wrap up? Thanks for your questions there, Anna. I'm sure that that was beneficial to a lot of folks. Yeah, Lisa's got a comment. Emailing, then calling a few days is really a good way to connect. Calling a couple of days later and saying, hey, I sent you an email a couple of days ago, just making sure that you received it. You don't know me directly, but here's why I sent it or whatever. But doing that follow-up is multiple touches is great for sure. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you being here. Tomorrow we got 2 Zooms. We've got 11:30 Eastern time at daczoom.com. That's our team building training, some pro tips there. And then tomorrow night we've got a live business opportunity overview at 7:30. So
I just
invite
have one
some
more.
guests and come on along. Yes?
I have one more question. If someone is a person that buys a lot of buildings and then sells them, do you do that kind of funding?
We do funding for generally every type of business. We don't fund inventory for car lots or boat lots, or we don't fund attorneys, but just about everything else we do fund, as long as they meet our basic requirements. Time in business, a minimum of 4 months, business revenue, a minimum of $3,000, making at least 3 deposits a month, not bouncing a lot of checks at the end of the month. Whatever their last statement was, they had to have a positive balance in the day that they're applying for funding. They have to have a positive balance in the checking account if they're doing bank verification. Those basic rules apply to 100% of the businesses. Now, the ones that are doing 3,000 or more a month are not the ones, that's not your target audience. You want to be targeting the businesses that are doing 15, 20, 50, $100,000 a month, because you're going to get them funded faster. You're going to get paid a lot more money, and you're going to spend less time helping them get funded than you will somebody that's only doing $5,000 a month. So go for that higher revenue business. That's really the
Not
target
only
audience.
that funding takes longer to get paid.
what
The
the
one for 3
Giggle?
to 10. Yeah, that takes longer to get your money.
Yeah, that's right. You get paid on Giggle on the 20th of every month for what took place the previous month. And unless it's most of the Giggle commissions are $20 or less. So you spend a lot of time and effort trying to connect people with Giggle, and they don't know how to connect their bank account. They do all of that. You spend time and energy, and then if they do get funded, it barely pays you for your time. So it's good to be able to help those people that we have that solution, but again, that's not the target audience. All right.
All
Well,
right.
guys, thank you. I appreciate the participation. Harlequin, anything before we wrap up?
No, the only thing I would comment on is people in the real estate industry, they have a hard time having that consistent revenue because if they're buying and selling homes, they're usually not buying or selling 3 or 4 a month.
Yeah, if they're in real estate and they have rental properties, then they've got consistent revenue, but they'd have to have a lot of properties to have enough revenue
I
to
think
qualify for
some of
money.
them have to do the hard money loans probably.
If they're flipping houses, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Have a blessed evening, and we'll see you on the next Zoom. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
Bye.